What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the BrewCrew channel, and welcome, of course, to the official early prediction of the LSU 2026 football schedule. Now, if you guys do remember in my last video, I did say in my last video, which of course I went over the Saints schedule, that I said I was going to go over the LSU schedule since I was going over the Saints schedule. It's kind of like what I did last time. I did say in the previous video, the last time I did the schedule predictions for both teams, I had them in one video. Now I'm going to have them as like separate videos. So now here we are with the LSU video with the 2026 college football season. Of course, yes, we're getting closer to the summer and all that, so kind of just early predictions. Of course, the reason I did the Saints schedule, the Saints schedule as the last video was because, of course, last week was when the official schedule was released, so I went ahead and did it. And since I went ahead and did that, might as well go ahead and do sort of an early prediction or so. Maybe for this one, don't know if I'll do it for the Saints. I think it's just because this is kind of different, because with college and all that, kind of different and whatever to what we feel like, really. But in my honest opinion, I don't know what I was trying to say there, but this is of course just in my opinion, but my opinion could change depending on how this summer goes. So maybe in the future down the line we could have another sort of prediction video for this schedule. But of course, before we get into the video, you guys got to make sure and do one thing for me. That is, of course, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future videos, so you guys can be notified for any future videos, especially for that future video whenever that happens, or if it does happen, or whatever as well. So yes, please do that. Hit subscribe, hit the notification. Of course, I do football content like this for LSU and Saints. I do wrestling content as well every now and then. But in today's video, like I said before, we're going to be going over all of the games from the SEC games, the non-conference games, and everything else. Give you guys my official prediction of where we'll stand, if we potentially are a playoff team, and if we could be one of the top teams in the SEC, and if we could have a much better season than we did last season. Of course, we know last season was sort of a disappointing season. It definitely was. So there's a lot of hype with, of course, this season, with, of course, the incoming of Lanekiffin, other big-time transfers, and everything else as well. Also had big news today, which was actually yesterday as of me recording this video. I believe Wednesday is when it was announced officially that Coach O is coming back to LSU as sort of an assistant coach or an assistant head scout or something like that. He's mostly going to help in the scouting range, which is definitely big. Of course, he has history with Lanekiffin, but of course, big time history with LSU. Of course, was the head coach of the national championship team. He was coach of the year that year. So definitely looking forward to see what he brings with him coming back to LSU. So definitely a good bit of fans and other people along with LSU that are connected with LSU are very happy and very excited with this decision and with this return of Coach O. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. So definitely, definitely looking forward to that. Let me know y'all's thoughts, what y'all think about that in the comments down below. But now let's get into really what this video is about, and that, of course, is the 2020-26 season, sort of early predictions of this 2026 season. Before we get into the video, if you guys want to go check out the Saints schedule prediction video, I will leave a link to that video in the description below. And also, if you guys want to go check out my previous LSU video, which I look over some big-time 5-star players that this LSU roster has. I went over those little players thanks to an article. Definitely go check out that video. I'll leave a link to that video as well. I might leave both the videos up at the end of the video, so you guys can go check out both of them, whichever one y'all want. Now, to not make this intro any much longer, let's go ahead and get right into the video, and probably the thing that you guys are waiting for, and that, of course, is the early predictions. Kind of the same thing, might look a little bit different with whatever picture I use. I'll pop up, of course, the schedule here. Of course, it's the schedule wherever I will put it. I don't know where, and I don't know what I will use to put it up, but of course, the official schedule, this, of course, is the official schedule. I believe these are the official dates and all that, So let's see where I predict this to be and where I predict this to potentially go for rest of the season. And what a way, of course, we're going to start off this season, of course, with a rematch from last year against Clemson. This time it is at home. I am still expecting this to be a really close matchup and a really good match, but I think we have the much better team and then Clemson. I know it's going to be a tough one, but it also helps because we're going to be at home for this one. So I think with the help of the home field advantage and definitely probably better much talented roster, I think I have us getting the win. Quickly, of course, for the next game, we got Louisiana Tech at home. So 2 home games to start off the season. Definitely, of course, going to win that one. But, of course, the big game of it all early in the season is, of course, the road game against Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin going back to Ole Miss since, of course, leaving the team to come coach for us at LSU. I believe this could be a close one, and I don't know where I would have us winning this because I don't know, because Ole Miss, I think they have a good bit of players coming back. I believe we still are the more talented player than them, or team than them. But these Ole Miss games throughout the years have always been close. No team has ever gone 2 years in a row of beating, so like there hasn't been a win streak in a while. Every game has been we get one, they get one, So it's been these games have been close, these games have been tight, these games have been physical. But I think with it not being at home, and I just don't know how we're going to be on the road, especially with this new look team. And I know a lot of fans probably are not going to like me when I say this. I think I see Ole Miss beating us in this year. I know it's definitely going to be not a great win, and I know it's going to probably have a lot of Ole Miss fans be like, oh, Lane Kiffin should have never left and all that, but I don't know. There's a little bit of me that says I feel like I'm making the wrong decision, but hey, maybe down the line I'll change my predictions or anything like that, but I have us losing our first game against Ole Miss, but I do get us having back into a winning way after this loss. We come back home for the next 2 games for Texas A&M first. Of course, they always give us trouble. I believe they have Marcel Reed back, but I feel like this could be the year this defense can try to stop Marcel Reed, and this offense can get something going against this really good Texas A&M defense. And with it being at home, hopefully the home field crowd can get wild up. Can get rowdy with this Texas A&M offense. So I think I got us. I was kind of mixed with this as well. It was kind of back and forth if I wanted A&M to be one of the teams to beat us. But I think I got LSU getting our revenge over A&M, and I think I have us coming out with the win in this one. And then, of course, we got McNeese State, our last non-conference opponent. We have McNeese State at home. I believe we'll, of course, easily come out with the win on that one. Then we're back on the road for the next game against Kentucky. I believe the first time we'll be facing Kentucky in a while. I don't remember the last time we played Kentucky. I think one of the last times we played Kentucky, they beat us. I believe it was. I can't really fully remember for some reason, but I think I remember they beat us. I think it was during like the 2020-2021 season. It was during like, of course, the rough patch of LSU after of course the national championship. So after a national championship win. So yeah. But they have not really been too great of a team. They sometimes have kind of been that shocker team in the SEC over the past few years. But I think I have us winning this one, continuing our winning streak. And I believe continuing our winning streak with the next game back home against Mississippi State. They, of course, were one of the worst teams last year in the SEC, so I think there could be a good chance that we will beat them again at home in this one. So at this point, we only have one loss. After, of course, we went 2-1 going into this win streak. So the 3 wins plus the 1 more, 4, and then so it's about I'm trying to math here. My brain is going everywhere. About a 6-win season, I believe, right now. Win season up to this point, 6-1. We now go back on the road against Auburn. Of course, for the infamous Tiger Bowl. I believe this could be a tough one because Auburn was a weird team last year. If you remember, they went on that undefeated run at one point, and then like halfway through the season, they just fell all the way down, and they were at the bottom of the barrel in the SEC. So I mean, they had a pretty crazy season. But I think that could be a close game, and I think I see us winning this one, winning this game. As I can't even remember what I did for this next game, which I believe was the Alabama game last year. But I think this one could be pretty even because there is a good bit of players not on the Alabama. And of course, the quarterback situation is the thing they're going to be questioning for Alabama. But I think, as always, just because, of course, really not liking Alabama, and of course them being our biggest rivals, and of course with it being at home, so hopefully that home field advantage definitely helps in our favor. And yeah, I think we could have a chance to get the win this season against Alabama. And real quick, for this matchup against Alabama, it'll be the last time that we'll be playing Alabama for multiple seasons in a row, because now, of course, if you guys remember last year, towards the end of last year, earlier this year, whenever it was, they now implicated that SEC teams will only have three teams that they will play against almost every year, like permanent teams, and Alabama was sadly not one of them. That is definitely upsetting to me, in my opinion, because of course Alabama to me is literally one of our biggest rivals. So I mean, is literally one of our biggest rivals. I mean, you could say right now we're starting a new. I mean, over these past few years, we've started a new big rivalry with Ole Miss, even though they've been a long time rival for us as well. But there's just always been something different about the Alabama games. If you're LSU fans, you know what I'm saying. Like all of those matchups with them have always been crazy. They've been interesting. They've been close. And now knowing, I mean, it's not like we're not going to play them at all anymore, but it's just like this is going to be the last year where it's not like it's ever going to be every other year. Not every year we're going to play Alabama. So I think with that, that's kind of the other reason why I feel like could be a big win for us, against Alabama. But then we have another big game against Texas, and this is kind of where I kind of get back to kind of confusing, not confusing, to kind of be like, I want us to win this game, but at the same time, I think they are the better looking team. That, of course, Texas does have Arch Manning, I believe, coming back, and of course, everybody is expecting him again to have a big, big year. Of course, we know how last year went for him. It was kind of up and down, he was a number one as a Heisman finalist, and of course, he was not even a Heisman finalist by the end, but he still had some pretty good moments. Just had my hand on the freaking desk. But he had really good moments of the season. And I think he could have some big moments this season. I think he could have a breakout year, and I think he could bring some big-time success to Texas. And sadly for me to say this, I think he pulls off the win in Death Valley against LSU. I expect it to probably be close, but I think Arch Manning in Texas might be a little bit better than us. We're just looking at team wise, really, but yeah, I think I have them. I think I have them beating us, but don't worry. That, of course, I believe would be our final loss. So we would end the season with 2 losses, but on the road with the final 2 games on the road. First against Tennessee, I have us potentially winning that. That could be a close game because Tennessee is also one of those up and down teams in the SEC, especially over the past few years. But I think that Tennessee game is definitely a win. And for sure, the game against Arkansas, which now Arkansas back to being the final team of the season for us, which I believe the last time they were that was like 2013, 2014. Of course, battle for the Golden Boot now ending off the season yet again. Back to ending off the season for LSU, and for sure, I have us winning that and continuing our win streak for the Golden Boot. So, yeah, so I see us potentially ending the season with a 10-win season, even though, yes, it's going to be like, oh my goodness, 10-win season again, another year in a row. But heck, it's going to be better than what we had last year. We just eked into having a bowl game with a 7-win season. So, I mean, I would take 10 wins over 7 wins. But again, it's just I don't want us to get into that scenario that we were in with Brian Kelly of, even though, yes, it was 10 wins, you're constantly getting into 10-win situation seasons. And I hope we don't see that with Lane Kiffin. If Lane Kiffin's first season is a 10-win season or even more, that is an impressive season in my opinion. And, I mean, depending on how the rest of the SEC goes, we'll, of course, just have to see that. Because even though with us having a 10-win season, we could eke in to win the SEC, or even play for an SEC conference title. I know, of course, conference titles are a big thing for people saying like they should stop doing them, they should continue doing them or whatever. But anyway, that's still a big thing either way if they're still doing them. So I'm still going to talk about them. making the playoffs, there could be a good chance we could make the playoffs. We could eke into the playoffs. And honestly, I wouldn't be sad if we are a first round exit. I know other people would probably be like, oh my goodness, it's a failure of a season if they don't make the playoffs or if they're a first round exit. I'm like, in my opinion, that's a win in my book, especially with the season that we had last year. I'm literally saying anything that was better than last season with the 7 wins we had, whether it's 10 wins, 11 wins, heck, even 9 wins. If it's a much better experience that we will have, if this season goes on to be a much better experience that we had than last season with Lane Kiffin and us winning big games, playing good football, actually being close in some of these games, especially the losses, then that's a win in my book. I don't care what you say about, oh my goodness, they're a big bust if they miss the playoffs. So what? I will, of course, kind of agree with everything if this continues to be the habit for LSU, especially now with Lane Kiffin, because that was the habit with Brian Kelly. Literally, example is last season. We literally went in as a favorite to win the national championship. Garrett Nussmeier was a favorite to win the Heisman, and we go on to have probably one of the most disappointing seasons I have ever watched from LSU football. I mean, just me personally. It's probably not, but it definitely is one of. It definitely is one of. And I don't want to go back-to-back disappointing seasons because it's definitely going to be hard for me as a fan to at least predict how these next few seasons are going to go, or even if we're ever going to make it back to a national championship. Now, again, I said this before. I think I said this before with LSU or with Saints. I don't know who, but I'm not expecting us in this first year with Lane Kiffin to go straight to the national title. I'm not expecting that. If we do, I would be going crazy and would be excited. All I would care is us having a winning record, a possibly 10 or more win season, maybe a playoff appearance, maybe a conference championship appearance, any form of that was better than last season. That's all I care about right now. That's all I care about with this season. It's just, even though, yes, I'm looking forward into the future, the next few seasons, it's just I don't want this to be a recurring thing where I'll be like, yeah, it's a good season with us getting 10 wins, making the playoffs and all that, you know. I mean, heck, we didn't even make the playoffs with Brian Kelly, but we still had these 10-win seasons and all that, you know. But, oh my God, I'm sorry if you see me freaking rubbing my nose and all that. It's freaking scratchy and runny and all that. I don't know why. I'm so sorry if that's distracting y'all. But anyway, that's really it that I have to say. Again, I do not expect us to win a national championship in this first year with Lane Kiffin. All I care about is if we have a better season than we did last year, whether that means a 10-win season, a playoff appearance, heck, even a conference championship appearance. And I'm telling you this right now, if we miss out of the playoffs, but still have a rank high enough that we could have made it, that will be all right to me. Will I be upset? Yes, because we probably will, like other team will be knocked over us probably. Will be knocked above us or whatever, you know, that we should have been over them or whatever, you know. Yes, I will be upset if that happens for this season. But it's not going to change the fact that I'm like, we had a much better season than we did last year. And if we can continue this momentum off of this great season and continue it into more good seasons or great seasons and potentially a national title of some sort, that's all we need to do. I can't go another 4 or 5 years of us just being, I wouldn't say mediocre, but like good to average team that potentially gets close. I don't want to be that anymore, and I want us to be, again, one of the top programs, one of the top schools in the nation, which we still are. We're just not showing that how these past few seasons has went. So I know this video has probably been a little bit longer than my Saints video because there was a lot more that I had to talk about with this, because I think it's just the more stuff with the different, and of course you guys know we're different with the NFL and college and all that, but yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. That, of course, is my final prediction. Have us potentially 10-2 record, I think it is. 10-2 record, 2 losses. I am okay with the 2 losses. I don't care if 2 losses is like, oh my goodness, horrible season for anybody. To me personally, that's kind of dumb. If you think if we get 2 losses, our season is done. That's one of the reasons why potentially college football, some of the conferences are wanting either a 16-team or 24-team playoff, is so that you don't have to matter with losses, or like losses don't have to matter where you are in the playoffs, you know? So like if you have 3 losses, you still are in the playoffs. You have 2 losses, you're not knocked out, you know? So I mean, that's kind of another reason why I'm like, if we get 10-2, I'm fine with that, because, you know, anyway, not to rattle off more, like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you guys made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below, y'all's predictions, how far do you see us going this season? Do you guys see us making the playoffs? Do you guys even see us potentially making a championship, a national championship, or anything like that? Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, you guys know, as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. If you guys want to go check out my previous LSU video, link to that will be in the description below. If you guys want to go check out the last video, which was the Saints prediction, schedule prediction video, definitely go check that out. Link to that as well will be in the description below. Also, those 2 videos will pop up at the end of this video as well. Now, with that being said, do everything that I said before. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys have it on. Please make sure you guys have it on so you guys can be notified for future videos here on the channel. And with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful day. And I'll see you guys in my next video.